Hi, welcome to Growing in Uncertainty. My name is Tess Miller, and through my seminar and coaching business, Wings Unfolded, I help professionals who are ready to transition from the life they thought they wanted to the one that they were made for. My intention with these videos is to let you look under the hood, so to speak, of how I'm transitioning in my own life and in my own way. And my belief is that life really is a series of transitions. We're moving from one place in our growth and development to another continually throughout our lives. We transition in mind, body, and spirit over and over again. But sometimes transitions can be scary, and sometimes we can end up getting stuck or feel like we're not moving or going anywhere. So I'm hoping that these videos will help you feel like you can stay on track and get out of those stuck moments in your life. So as you may already know, I chose a focus word for 2021, and this year's word is freedom. And today's topic came to mind because last week was really rough for me. I really felt like my inner critic, my self-sabotaging voice kept going on and on about, just telling me how much of a failure I was, and your life isn't going anywhere, you're not doing it right, just everything. And it would often happen in the middle of the night without me having any control. I would wake up and then all of a sudden my inner critic would be right there. I decided to name this voice because what else can you do when a voice keeps popping into your head? I decided to name her Zelda. That seemed a pretty fitting name for the way that she was speaking to me. So anyway, Zelda just continually spoke to me all day and all night last week about just everything that I was doing wrong. And after a while, that made me feel really exhausted. It drained my energy. It made me feel like I couldn't be creative. I wasn't motivated to do anything. I just kind of wanted to sleep all day. When don't I in the middle of winter? But anyway, I just couldn't stay focused on what I needed to do with all of that negative self-talk. So in these moments, I realized that a lot of my freedom is taken away in those moments when I'm pelting myself, or Zelda, whatever we want to call her, when Zelda is pelting me with all of these negative statements about myself. I don't feel free in those moments. I feel caged in. I feel like, should I believe that? And if I do believe that, what does that mean that I should do now? So in those moments when I'm feeling like my mind is keeping me caged like that, I know for me what I need is to stop and really just let the thoughts and feelings come. It's not fun. It's a little painful in the moment, but believe it or not, it goes a lot faster than trying to resist all of those thoughts and feelings. And so when I sat down with Zelda and asked her, what's going on here? She kept telling me that I didn't know what I was doing with my business, and that, it's still so new, and, don't you miss that comfortable life that you used to have, that you knew how everything worked before the pandemic? And what I ended up feeling as she was telling me this was a lot of sadness and grief, insecurity. I was really angry about how things have happened over the last year, and really just overwhelmed by it all. So then I took a moment to just really, sit with that. And then I wanted to ask Zelda, me, what she really needed. You know, what are you really looking for in this moment? And as it turned out, what she told me was that she needed a break. She was tired. She wasn't feeling very free in her space. And so I realized in that moment that I had been pushing myself really hard the last several weeks. You know, I'm pushing myself to have everything figured out right now, preferably yesterday. And, you know, spinning my wheels like that can just really completely deplete my energy. I don't know if you've ever been in that space before. But without the energy to do anything, I end up not feeling motivated to do anything or to create anything. And without the energy or motivation, I don't feel like I want to do anything. And then when I don't do anything, then I end up feeling like I'm a loser and a failure. But I also, you know, last week noticed myself pushing, resisting, wanting to push through those feelings of, you know, not having it all figured out right now. And it's basically like being on a hamster wheel. You know, you're spinning around, but you're not really getting anywhere. So I realized that I needed to be taking more breaks throughout my day. And it can be really easy to fall into the trap of thinking that taking breaks is going to somehow interrupt your workflow, or you're going to miss out on something or get behind in some other area of your life. But actually, taking breaks really helps you be more productive and helps with your creativity. If you do a quick Google search on your own time and look up articles about taking breaks, you'll find that this is something that a lot of researchers have delved into. Because a lot of workplaces want to know how they can get their workers to be more productive and whatnot. But from a standpoint of well-being, it's really good to take a look at these articles to see what the research is really showing. But basically, they're finding that taking even just micro breaks, 5-minute breaks here and there throughout the day, you have improved concentration, improved memory, overall well-being. You can prevent mental fatigue for yourself. You can have a boost in your mood. They even showed, this is my favorite, that watching dog and cat videos are actually really good for you, even in just 5-minute bursts. I'm sure everybody loves hearing that. And, you know, like I said, it doesn't have to take very long to take a little, 5-minute break. Unless you need more. You know, there can be those times in life when maybe you've been pushing yourself for a really long time and you need a little bit more time. Rather than resisting that, see if you can find longer breaks in your day. Because if you don't, your body will let you know that it's time to take a break. You might end up with an illness, or you might not be able to concentrate at all on anything. So just something to consider. So what constitutes as rest? I mean, there are so many different things. It could be taking a short walk, could be meditating, could be writing in a journal, breathing exercises. There's, if you've ever heard of emotional freedom technique, it's where you do this tapping on your body. There are all kinds of videos about that. There are all kinds of meditation apps that have you doing different exercises that aren't necessarily about meditating, but maybe just guiding you through different visualizations. It could be watching cat and dog videos. That's always fun. Maybe just taking a break for a snack or to get a cup of tea. Maybe a short phone call with a good friend, stretching or yoga. Reading can be nice, although it's advisable that you watch what you consume. If it's, something that's gonna, don't read something that's work related when you're trying to take a break, or don't read something that's gonna make you upset. Taking a nap, that's my favorite. Rest. I am the queen of the 10-minute nap. Or, bird watching, something like that. Just, basically whatever brings your blood pressure down, gets your mind off things for a little while. You can just escape everything, take a break, and then come back to whatever it was that you were working on. So for me, I should say social media is definitely not a relaxer, unless of course you're watching growing in uncertainty videos on the Wings Unfolded Facebook page. But really, just doom scrolling or, looking at your friends' posts can sometimes elevate your stress, anxiety. So I really think long and hard about, what kind of social media you do consume on your breaks. If you are, and you notice that you're starting to feel stressed out or anxious about something, find something else to do. So, and also for me, looking at the news isn't necessarily a break either. But for other people, I love meditating, but other people that might not be relaxing for them, and that's okay. You have to figure out what your options are for relaxing and getting your blood pressure down and taking care of your mind, body, and spirit. So, for those of you who might be worried about scheduling breaks, like how am I going to fit a break in now? I have all these other things that I'm doing. How am I supposed to do that? Remember that the research shows that you will be more productive if you do take breaks. So chances are good you will naturally open up more time for yourself because you'll be getting things done more efficiently. Maybe not right away. Maybe you have to practice, what it is to take breaks for a little while. But chances are really good you're going to find ways to streamline your work so that you do have time to rest in between. Also, that you might discover that, that you've been engaging in something that you thought was really good for you. Once you start paying attention to how you're taking breaks, you might start to notice the things that are amping you up, that are really causing you to feel tense and stressed out. And that might help you figure out ways to not do so much of those activities, or find new ways of engaging with them that aren't quite so stressful. So once you ditch those things, you'll have plenty of time in your schedule to find breaks and to rest. So I have 4 steps in how to commit to finding resting spots in your day. Step 1 is to make a list of the activities that you think are going to work for you. They don't have to be really complicated at all. I gave you a list earlier that you might find a few things from there, or maybe you're already thinking of a few things now that you can jot down. And then once you have this list, I'd hang it where you can see it. I know for me, sometimes if I'm like, okay, I need a break, what can I do? It can be a little stressful in that moment trying to figure out what do I want to do. So if you have a list in front of you, you can just glance at it and say, yep, I need a cup of tea, or I need to grab this book that I love reading right now, whatever it is. So put that list where you can see it and refer to it in a rest emergency. And then you can keep adding and subtracting from this list, as you go along and you discover, this activity totally didn't work for me. This just stressed me out more. Take that one off and put something else on. So, second step, try to find 2 to 3 spots in your schedule where you can take breaks. You can totally do more than that. But for some people, the thought of even finding one break might be overwhelming. But try to see if you can find 2 to 3 spots scattered throughout your day. Might not be at the same time every day. I know some people have schedules that are changing all the time. So, just try to find 2 to 3 places where it seems like a good idea, where this is where I usually start to feel low on energy. This is where I start to feel stressed out the most in my day and could benefit from a break. And I would recommend putting those times in your calendar. When you do that, you're more likely to actually take the break. If you just think, well, I'll take it around 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock is probably going to come and go. But if it's in your calendar, you're looking at it, you've committed it to something. Something is going to pop up and tell you, hey, you got to do this. You can even set it up to have alarms go off. I know some people love setting alarms for themselves. It helps them remember, but it also doesn't mean that they have to hold on to something in their heads to, I've got to remember to take my break. That can add more stress to your life as well. So setting alarms, having alarms come on, based on your calendar or whatever. But of course, be flexible. Every day is a little bit different. Step 3, this one's really important. Protect your boundaries. It's really easy for especially those of us who are recovering people pleasers or recovering do-it-alls to not say yes to everything, right? It can be really easy if someone comes up to you and says, oh my gosh, you got to help me with this at such and such time. I need it right now. It's going to be important for you to say, I'm really sorry. I'm not available at that time. And you don't have to tell them why. They don't need to know that. You just need to say, I'm not available at that time. And you're not. You have scheduled a really important, crucial thing for yourself. You need that break more than that person needs you to do whatever it is they need you to do. Or maybe it's that you get a phone call during your break. Don't take it. You don't have to answer everything. You don't have to answer every single text as soon as someone sends it. You can wait the 5 minutes and then respond. Chances are really good. If it was something that someone really needed your clear headspace for anyway, then after the break, you're going to be much more used to them than had you not had that break. So just something to really consider. And remember that you'll have more energy for anything that you need if you take those breaks. So if somebody is you're having a conflict with somebody and they are maybe encroaching on your boundaries in other ways, you need to conserve all of your energy that you can and set those boundaries so that you're ready to engage with them in a healthy way. So if you're still having a hard time protecting your time for yourself, try to do it for somebody else. If it's your friends, I want to be there for my friends. Or if it's your family, I want to have enough energy for my mom or my dad, or I want to have enough energy for my kid. Whatever it is, your partner, your cats, your dog, do it for somebody else if you're having a hard time, doing it for yourself. Step 4, at the end of the day, it's important to really take stock of how you feel. What did it do for you to take those breaks? How was your energy level throughout the day? How was your energy level throughout the week? What feels different for you after a week of taking scheduled breaks for yourself? How does it feel to take responsibility for managing your levels of stress or anxiety or overwhelm? What shifts for you in your ability to have energy for the relationships in your life? And what else do you all of a sudden have energy to do now that you've been managing your energy better? So at first it might feel like torture trying to take these little breaks, trying to find the time to fit it in and protecting your boundaries and really committing to it. But you know, the research really shows that, and also my experience, I must say, that when you stop to rest, you preserve your energy in a really sustainable way. Your energy lasts longer throughout the day. You can cope with so much more that gets thrown at you. You can be more calm when challenges arise in your life, and you can choose to respond to those challenges rather than reacting to those challenges. So imagine what that would look like for you if a big challenge comes up. If you don't have the energy to face that challenge, chances are really good you're either going to turtle, you're either going to, go in on yourself, or you're going to fight, you're going to react, or you're going to freeze, whatever it is, or you're going to flee, fight, flight, freeze, is the psychological way of looking at it. So the other thing is you're probably going to make better decisions in your life if you have the energy. You're going to feel better about your life as a whole. You're going to feel more empowered. And all of those things fuel you to feel like you have more energy anyway. So it's like this self-perpetuating system. Hopefully you will provide yourself with the freedom this week to take some breaks in your schedule. Please let me know how this goes for you. I'd love to hear what you do, what creative ways you find to rest and take breaks. I know for me that I have a nap scheduled for myself later on today. And so, let me know how it goes. If you're ready to transition from the life you thought you wanted to the one that you were made for, consider doing a complimentary coaching session with me. You can sign up for that on my website, www.tess-miller.com. You'll go to services, click on the Test Your Wings complimentary session, and set up a time on my calendar that works for you, and we'll be on our way. I'd love to hear from you. You can find me on Facebook under my business name, Wings Unfolded, or you can find me by name on Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Feel free to send me a private message. I'd love to connect with you. And if you want more free stuff, please subscribe to my weekly email list if you haven't done so already. It's how you can get more free resources, updates, and developments on my offerings delivered straight to your inbox. It means so much if you would please like or share these videos or any of my resources with family and friends who would benefit from what I have to offer. Remember that it's okay to be stuck, but you don't have to stay there. Have a fantastic week and take care.